When it comes to actual hardware sales this console generation, Sony have been leading the way with the PS4 and the PS4 Pro. Nintendo Switch has done incredibly well in its first year, and sales of the Xbox One have been decent, but the PS4 is still some way out. And now Sony have revealed a new set of sales figures for the PS4.
This week, Sony announced they had sold 5.9 million PS4 consoles during the recent holiday season. These strong sales mean the PS4 and the slightly stronger PS4 Pro have shipped a combined 73.6 million units worldwide as of December 2017. But the PS4 sales for the 2017 holiday shopping season weren't as strong as they were during the 2016 holiday season, where the PS4 sold 6.2 million units. On the brighter side, however, software sales for the PS4 were up by just about 5 million, with Sony announcing they had sold 55.9 million digital and physical PS4 games in the 2017 holiday season. This boosts the total number of PS4 software sales up to 645 million across both physical and digital games. Sony Interactive Entertainment President John Kadira also revealed December 2017 was the best month ever for monthly sales on the PlayStation Store.
And as for PlayStation Plus subscribers, Sony revealed they now have 31.5 million members of their premium PSN service worldwide. While sales were lower this holiday season compared to last year, Sony, of course, made it clear they were very pleased with the results. In a statement on Sony's corporate website, Kadira said, quote, "Thanks to the continued support from our fans across the globe, we are honoured to announce remarkable sales during the holiday season. We promise our unwavering commitment to bring more amazing experiences to our fans, including exclusive games and innovative network services, as PS4 continues to flourish as the best place to play."
Amazing, exclusive, and innovative.
Yeah,
I mean, throwing those
there.
Yeah. Good on you, John.
Bottom line, they've sold less in 2017, Christmas period, than they did the year before. Is that to be expected?
That's units, a little bit?
That's units of the PS4 console itself. I don't know if that's good or bad news. It's not a huge drop off, that's important. But they've also sold more games. But again, you kind of expect that because there's more people with PS4s. So there's literally more people to buy those games. So is that great as well? I don't know. And a lot of the excitement they seem to have is the move to digital, and they're really excited that there's record-breaking months for the amount of people spending money on the PSN store, which is all digital. But that's just progress, isn't it? That's just moving forward. That's the way it was always going to go. So
yeah, exactly. I think they're going to make more out of the fact that they've sold more games than ever, because that's ultimately why they're selling the units. They don't make a lot of a margin on the units, I'm assuming. It's games, that's where they make their money. So if they're selling more games, things are going in the right direction.
Yeah, it's definitely in the case that in the past some consoles have been loss leaders, and I think it was actually the PS3.
It was the PS3. It's because it had the Blu-ray drive in it. They were selling that out lots just to get it in people's houses.
Yeah.
In other PlayStation news, the company announced they expect the library of PSVR games to grow by 80% in 2018. PSVR currently has 150 games in its roster, which includes VR experiences, indies and AAA games. So Sony expects that library to hit 280 by the end of the year. It wasn't long ago that Sony revealed they had shifted 2 million PSVR units during its first year in the market, and they started to invest more in exclusive VR games. Sony also said they now believe there is a big enough audience for VR gaming to encourage third-party developers to make VR games experiences.
But some industry analysts think PSVR is underperforming, and so far sales of the headset have been trending below initial market estimates. For example, Macquarie Securities estimated PSVR would ship 8 million units in 2 years. Industry analyst Jesse Schell also thought PSVR would ship 4 million units in its first year. But Sony don't seem to be too worried about the market estimates, and they said internal company estimates have been much more measured. Yeah, so PSVR I think is probably the most successful headset, which is what they were aiming for. They were hoping for that kind of general public, kind of getting it out into as many people's hands as possible, and the trade-off is obviously not as good as something like the HTC Vive, but it is maybe more accessible. And the sales aren't quite what a lot of analysts were expecting, but Sony's saying, actually we weren't expecting these huge numbers, we were a bit more conservative, although they haven't said actually what they were expecting, I don't think. So there you go, PSVR is kind of doing okay.
PSVR was a big focus of the recent PS experience back in December. Sean Layden on stage saying how well they've been doing, and to be fair, Sony have supported the PSVR platform. They keep bringing out these new games, they're announcing loads of new games. There's that first-person shoot one, a tactical first-person shoot one that's coming out. What's that called?
Heist bank robbery one?
There's like a squad.
Oh, the military.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. But
clearly made a huge impression on both of us.
But you know, we remember it, and I mean, they're putting loads of money in these games, and they're supporting the platform, which is great.
Yeah.
Do they have enough units in people's hands at home to entice other developers to produce games for the VR platform? Now that is the important question, because if they have got enough to make third-party developers make games for the PSVR, then that's a win, isn't it? Surely that's all they want. They just want people to produce more games so they can sell more units.
You're right, they definitely are trying with it, and they obviously have big ambitions because they want to double the library of games this year. It's the kind of that vicious cycle thing, chicken and egg situation. You need there to be people buying the system to make developers make games for it, but there needs to be games on it for people to buy it. It's that kind of cycle that they've got to really get moving so they can actually start shifting this thing big style. 2 million units isn't a huge number, really, when you think that there's 73 million people who actually have PlayStations. Proportionally, that isn't massive. So you'd hope that this year, for Sony would hope that they'd get a lot more sales this year. So there you go, there's a couple of stories about the PlayStation. If you picked up a PSVR, let us know what you think of it down below. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed it. Please do subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this every single day. There's another video right there, which you can watch right now if you want, and the link to Patreon if you want to support the channel. See you next time.